All right, welcome back. So now we get into kind of the fun of talking about some of those holiday gadgets out there. Welcome back. We appreciate you spending some time with us. We're talking about this holiday shopping season, and the Toledo-Lucas County Public Library offering you a holiday gadget guide program. Over the next couple of weeks, there are a couple of opportunities for you to find out more about what's available to you. We were out at one that was actually back on November 19th. Gives you about an hour and a half to go to the McMaster Center there at the Toledo-Lucas County Library and learn about some of these electronic opportunities that are out there, the gadgets you can buy, how you use them, why they are so important. We are joined today by Tracy, if you're just joining us once again, Tracy Montross. She is the manager of the audiovisual department there at the Toledo-Lucas County Library. We're going to get to Julia Korlewski in just a second from the Mac Cafe, but you wanted to point out there are a bunch of partners bringing this thing together to make this opportunity available to folks.
We're so lucky to have partners in Mac Cafe, Barnes & Noble, and T-Mobile to join us for the Holiday Gadget Guide programs. And what they're doing is, I'm talking a little bit about the library resources, the free resources you can use with the gadgets 24/7. And many of them have apps that people love. And then the folks are talking about, like Mac Cafe, will be talking about some of their new offerings. And so it's like one stop to go to a safe place at the library, nice and comfortable, and you can sort of ask those questions out of the pressure of the holiday buying season.
As we saw, we were out there at that first one, and what was the response? What was the, I guess, kind of the line of thinking of, we're going to put this on, what do we want to do for our folks?
You know what, people are curious these days about the cost of the device.
Sure.
Obviously, the portability, so the weight, and the size of the screen resolution, as people are enjoying more and more movies, let's say. You know, is it a high-res image screen? And the various accessories are a big question right now, and the weight of the device. A lot of people are carrying in their backpack or purse, and that's a concern.
Julia, these things are getting smaller. It seems year after year they're getting smaller and better. Julia, once again, we appreciate you joining us from the Mac Cafe. As one of the things I proposed to you when we were talking before we came out here today, I was saying, these things, you buy them, and all of a sudden it seems like they get bigger, better, and badder. I posted that on Facebook this week. We were trying to get some reaction from people if they would just wait or if they want the latest, greatest thing. What should you do as a consumer, first and foremost? Let's talk about affordability, and then is it good to get the next thing that comes out, or do you wait?
It really depends on who you are and who you're buying whatever it is for. I get that a lot. You know, this is for my 10-year-old. Do I need the latest and greatest? Not necessarily. So we have at Mac Cafe, we take the time to match you with whatever device will suit you best for your needs. And we have all of the computers, the iPads out on display, so you can take a look, you can pick them up, you can feel the weight, you can see the screen, the different resolution, the retinas. Models just came out with the iPad Air, and we've got the MacBook Pro with Retina, so it really depends on who you are and what you need it for.
People at home are sitting there thinking, you know, as you said, this was one of those times when you put a program together like this and affordability is key. Have prices come down? Where are prices if people haven't really gone out there and researched? Are these types of items within somebody's budget, just the common Joe out there?
Definitely. We at Mac Cafe also do specials trade-in. So if you've got an older model, you know, the iPad 2, they still make that. They bring the price down on that, so it is a little more affordable. But if maybe you do want to step up and get the iPad mini with Retina, you could trade in your old iPad mini, and that might be perfect for somebody's son or daughter for Christmas time.
Why are these things being made better so quickly? Because it seems like you get one model, like we're already up to like iPhone 12, right? I mean, are we at that point yet?
We're close.
Not yet.
Close.
Not yet. But when you look at the technology, the advancement and all of these things, why is it that they keep finding, is it just because we're smarter?
I think people are always wanting what's possible, what's next.
Yeah.
Even when, you know, the 5C was being discussed and the 5S and they announced it, you're still getting people on all the discussion boards. Well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. We want the fingerprint scanner now on our iPad mini. So they're constantly trying to fit what the consumer wants, and I think the consumer is so demanding.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a tough match, but that's why they're constantly updating, making things smaller, chips faster, processing speeds to meet that demand.
It's funny, you see some of the characterizations in TV and movies from the 70s, from the 80s, even these days when they talk about smaller and smaller materials. I can remember on Saturday Night Live skit, Will Ferrell taking a little phone and putting it up to his ear. I don't think we're far from that. I wish I had the video to run to show people at home what we're referencing. You said the questions, I know, I'm random sometimes. The questions that people are asking, they're coming to these programs, this Holiday Gadget Guide, and they're asking not only from a standpoint of, I've got this and I want to use it better, but also, do I need this and why do I need this, right?
Right. They're trying to figure out what options, if I want to read an ebook on this device, can I also get to my email easily? And so people are multitasking and they're trying to figure out great ways to do that. So, I think people are just trying to be educated consumers, and I think that's wonderful. And one thing too is that the companies and the folks making these devices are really responsive to the needs. And so it's not as if you necessarily need the latest and greatest, but how can you use what you have or your investment, how can you use it to its fullest? So
let's get into the fun stuff. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you brought with you today. You talked about the new iPhone, which you have.
I do have the iPhone. We don't sell the iPhones at Mac Cafe.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go
to like the LifeProof case that I have here, completely waterproof. So someone on the go, I'm coaching sports, it starts raining, I don't have to panic. So it's nice to know what your options are. I do have iPad Retina. That was the new big thing, was what they just announced.
Is this just out for the Christmas season, or this is out recently?
Apple usually updates. The last few years it's been in September to kind of get you going for the holiday season. But they do, like I mentioned earlier, they still make the iPad 2.
Right.
So there's options that range, starting around $300 and upwards depending on what you need. I did bring the iPad Air, which is also the big new hot item.
Why is it so? Is this a marketing thing? Is this just?
I think it's a little bit of both. But again, they're updating. They're making it smaller, thinner, faster. The processing speed's a lot better. So just again, it depends on what you're using it for.
Let's go ahead and hold that up to the screen right here. Yeah, you can see that right there. The resolution? I mean, it's crystal clear.
Yes, it's that Retina resolution, which everyone always, especially for reading and watching movies, that's a big deal. It's sort of
Let me grab that from you, and I'm going to show it over to this camera over here. But talk through us through some of the other things that you have here for us.
I did bring a MacBook Air with the OS Mavericks update with the Macs. You can now, when you're reading a book on your iPad, you can switch over to the iBooks app on your computer and pick up where you left off. I know you had mentioned earlier, kind of covering all the bases of what people may be reading here and there. I know for me on the go, if I don't have it on my phone and my iPad and my computer, I'm never going to finish that article or that book. So I did bring a MacBook Air. I also have a MacBook Pro. That's my personal one, not the library website. And
Right. And some of the technology that's available to people, as you said, the multitasking that's available, and so many of these, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the iCloud premonition and what that's all about, and the ability to just store pictures in the air. I mean, explain iCloud to me. Just so I understand it clearly.
To make it as simplistic as possible, as we try to do. Essentially, they're storing your information on a server. They prefer to call it a cloud. It's easier for people to think because it's out in the air. So your information is saved if you were to lose.
So when my kids ask me if the stuff's actually floating around the house, I can tell them yes, or I tell them no.
You can say, sure, it's out and about. It is out on a server, so if you do, like I said, get lost or stolen, heaven forbid, then it is saved and you can back up. You have to make sure it's turned on, which we show people frequently how to go in and make sure your account is synced and your information is synced to your iCloud.
You touched on something important as well as far as security is concerned, and something that's very important. A lot of these have upgraded security features as well, yes?
That's one of the big draws that people look at Macs. They're a lot more secure than some of the other machines. You're paying for
what you get, of course. And we do want to point out there are a number of other models out there. Of course, Mac Cafe, one of the partners of the Holiday Gadget Guide program at the Toledo Lucas County Library. Some of the accessories that we see right here, I'm going to hold this one up to show people at home. Oh, live camera hit. But what are we looking at right here?
We're looking at a Bluetooth speaker that's very popular amongst people on the go, especially students. This is one of our Red Planet models that's new, sort of the hot item. It's been hard to keep them in stock, but you can wirelessly stream your audiobook or your music to it, and it's got really great sound quality. If you want me to pull it up, I can do that. I'm working.
Well, I want to get through some of these other things real quick. You talked accessories as well. I've got, oh boy, you knew it was going to be
when you
down.
spend the money that you do on your iPad, your computer, you don't want to just throw it in a purse, throw it in a backpack, and run off. As you can see.
So talk me through this bad boy.
Yep, this is one of our new cases. It's got the hard.
I
want to just show. The cocoon has a hard shell, so if it, if heaven forbid something falls on top of it, it does protect it. It is from the company that makes Grit It, which we sell a lot of these. Kind of keeps everything in one spot. All your cords, condensed, flash drives, whatever you need.
Sure.
And it does tuck in there. It comes with a Grit It. We've got the sleeve it also comes with, so when you're trying to so when you're taking your computer on the go, you can just slide it in, then you know it's definitely protected. And finally, I want you to touch on what looks like a hardcover book. The book, yes. The book is made for, they do everything now, iPads, iPhones, and even the laptops. This is the iPad model that you can slide your iPad into, and then you can keep all your other extras, your cords, your headphones, anything else that you want to fit in.
Is that leather bound on the outside?
It's close.
Close, okay.
But it definitely does.
It's close enough.
It zips up and it looks like a book.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Julia, great job there. Tracy, as we go forward, let's give people some dates and times as far as the remainder of, we've got another one coming up this week, sitting here on Sunday. We've got one coming up later this week, yes?
So Thursday, December 5th, we invite people to come out at 6:30 p.m. through 8 at Main Library's McMaster Center. Also Saturday, December 14th, we invite you to come out at 3:30.
Yeah.
And anybody who attends, courtesy of Mac Cafe, there's going to be a raffle for a $100 gift certificate from Mac Cafe.
Oh, no kidding.
So be there to win.
Yeah,
be there
incentive.
for information. Absolutely. And then also, if anyone ever has any questions about gadgets that they have now or they do buy this holiday season, they can always contact us via phone, email, walk-in. We have one-on-one appointments, how to connect to our e-media resources.
And of course the website.
And the website, and we have group classes as well.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Great job heading into the holiday season. We appreciate it. And stay right there. We'll wrap things up for this Sunday right after this.